Of the 4 classes of Singapore Airlines, we've reached episode 4, which means we've reached the absolute pinnacle. First class suites on the A380 aircraft. I've never flown this before, but ever since it was released, I've always wanted to. I think we're going to enjoy it. Let's go and check it out. At Singapore Airport, first class passengers have their own lounge-like check-in area, which then leads on to a private entry to passport control. The exclusivity continues in the lounge. In addition to the standard first class lounge, suites passengers have exclusive access to what is called the private room. It's all very refined. Boarding onto the aircraft is via a dedicated aerobridge for suites passengers.
How are you?
It wasn't long before the bubbles started flowing. Welcome aboard. Here's to a great flight. The first class suites are located at the front of the lower deck on the A380. The cabin is configured in a 1-2-1 layout with 14 suites in total. The entire suite's cabin is designed with privacy in mind. The best seats for couples are those in the middle. The Singapore Airlines First Class Suite is wonderful. The colour scheme of warm browns and cream is pleasing to the eye and promotes a sense of calm. The seat itself is very comfortable and easy to adjust. Your hand luggage is stored under the ottoman in front of you, and you have your own hanging closet. There are plenty of other storage areas for things like phone, books, mobile phones, and there's even a small rubbish bin provided. The walls of the suite have blinds that are raised for takeoff and landing, but are pulled down and closed for the rest of the flight, giving you a very private cabin. Singapore Airlines Inflight service is world famous across all its classes, and of course here in first class this flight was no exception. From the moment you board, the crew work tirelessly to ensure you have a great flight. Krug was served on boarding, and I indulged in a single malt with warm nuts after takeoff. As this flight departed at 1:30 AM, I went for a light dinner, seafood entree, followed by satay for the main course. Singapore Airlines also have a Book the Cook service where you can pre-book your meal from an extensive menu of dishes up to 24 hours before your flight. This is offered in suites, first class, business class and premium economy. However, my preference is always to choose from the onboard menu as I don't know what I'm going to feel like at the time. The entertainment system in the suites is the same as other classes. However, the screen here is bigger and you get high quality Bose noise cancelling headphones. The entertainment system itself is easy to use, and there are plenty of choices, but it's probably due for an upgrade. The route map in particular is very basic, and Singapore Airlines is the only airline I know flying A380s without any external cameras. That said, this aircraft was fully mobile and Wi-Fi enabled. I didn't use my mobile, but I did use the Wi-Fi. It worked well, but was pretty pricey. Whilst the Singapore Airlines PJs and slippers were the best I'd had on any flight anywhere, their first class amenities kit was rather basic. Now, I've always been a very big fan of wearing the sleeper suits or pyjamas when they're provided by an airline. It makes sleeping far more comfortable, and it ensures that your clothes are crease-free when you arrive at your destination. The Singapore Airlines sleeper suit is probably one of the most comfortable I've experienced. One big advantage that the Singapore Airlines Suites have over Qantas and Emirates First Class is that the bed is not a converted seat. Rather, the seat folds down completely and out comes a proper lie flat bed. That way you're not feeling any of the contours of the seat. Yes, it was as comfortable as it looks, and this was easily the best bed I've had in the sky. After a good night's sleep, it was time for a relaxed breakfast. Again, served on Wedgwood fine bone china. I started with fresh fruit, followed by Greek yogurt and muesli, and then came the warm Belgian waffles. Singapore Airlines have an impressive array of specialty teas and coffees on board, but in the end I went for an old favourite, espresso, and I wasn't disappointed. As we were coming into land in Zurich, I took the time to reflect on what was a fantastic flight, but also to think about the answer to that question I have with every one of my first class reviews, and that is it worth the upgrade from business class? Now, Singapore Airlines is an interesting one. Their business class is fantastic. There's a lot of space and a lot of privacy. Their food is great, their service is fantastic. What do you get by upgrading it at quite a significant cost to the first class suites? Okay, you get a better bed and you get a set of pyjamas. The meal's a little bit better, but the service is just as good. What you're really buying here in first class suites is exclusivity. And can you put a value, can you put a money value on that? I'm not sure if you can. And I think for every person that is different. So we'll all have to make up our mind whether that's worth the extra cost. Certainly, I don't think you'll be disappointed whichever class you fly with in Singapore Airlines. Thanks for watching, and as always, click on my channel, subscribe, and check out the other reviews on Singapore Airlines and the other carriers. Happy travels.